We have some deer. We are actually pulling up. I saw a video this morning. Oh, there's more. Holy cow. We are here at the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. I saw a video this morning from Bullhorn Betty putting down us media in Sarasota County, which includes Doug Live of the special media. It's going to give you a little lesson here. This is the park where Brian Laundrie's car was. This is not the park where Brian Laundrie was found. I've just got to enjoy the deer for a minute. This beautiful Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. I'll come in here and give you a little lesson on the locations here in Sarasota County that the Sarasota County media had all wrong, and you're tired of us talking about where Brian Laundrie was. So I'm gonna pull in here and give you a lesson. Okay, this is the park. This is where Brian Laundrie's car was found, parked in the grass inside this little park here. Now if we go towards the back, there's another parking area. This is the Myakkahatchee Creek Park, Environmental Park, that you keep saying everybody in the media is wrong in Sarasota County. But I'm sorry to say, Betty, you are wrong. This is where Mr. Laundrie's truck was parked. And I'm gonna have to get out here and walk up and explain a little something. I'll be back once I get up there. Okay, we just came out of the environmental park where you said Brian Laundrie was found. That is not true. We are standing in the environmental park. That bridge goes over to the Carlton Reserve, which is on the left there, over the bridge. Straight ahead here is the Big Sloth Preserve. That's the Carlton Reserve, and this is the Big Sloth Preserve. Actually, the Carlton Reserve did come across here. This was the Carlton Ranch. They changed this section here where Brian was found to the Big Sloth Preserve. So us media here in Sarasota that keeps getting it wrong, and she's so tired. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be as mean. You're so tired of us getting it wrong. To me, I thought everyone was aware of this, that this is not the location. It's over this river, straight out that way, about half a mile is where Brian was found. I'll actually cross the bridge and show you and explain to you. Okay, I came over the bridge. We are now at the Big Slough Preserve. And the trails start there. Right over that way is the Carlton Reserve. This is showing the map across the bridge to the environmental park. That's not a part of this where Brian was found. Brian was found straight out that way. I don't know if it's 500 feet or what it is. I'm pretty sure it's less than a mile. It's kind of angled right over that way. We were heading through these trails right up here, and luckily Hannah stopped me from going any farther because we would have walked right into where he was. And there's another trail down there by the telephone wires that go straight up back to there. It kind of circles around. So I just thought I'd give you a little lesson on the maps here. So please don't put the special media down here in Sarasota County. Oh, I forgot to add one more thing. You were also complaining that they were saying Brian was found, had how many? I don't remember how many feet you said of water over him, and you said that wasn't true. Actually, this whole area was completely flooded. This river came all the way up to the road. The whole park over here was completely flooded, including this whole area back here where they found Brian. So at that time, it was flooded. It was waist deep. This was all water back here. We actually tried to get back here. This whole park was completely flooded. I should probably show you some pictures. This here was all flooded. Couldn't even walk up here. The whole park back here was, the environmental park was completely flooded. All the way through over there up the Big Slough. It's funny to hear so much misinformation.
Was, if you guys remember, maybe you don't, but there was another YouTuber out there or another content creator. It could have been Doug Live. I don't know who these people were at the time. I still don't know who Doug Live is. I heard he was standing next to me. I had no clue. Long story short is, where was I going with this?
Yeah.
They
You're
found
going
some kind of heat.
You're going the wrong way.
Or something like that. And so law enforcement went to check it out, and they found some clothing or something fresh. They found something fresh, and it was, they picked up the dogs picked up a scent, but the problem was
totally wrong. False.
There was another fugitive running from the law.
Totally
so
false information.
They actually found the other fugitives' camp, thinking it was Brian Laundrie. So they were hot on his trail, so they thought. So instead of leaving some
false information. Keep listening. Keep listening to this.
Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park side, and then moving some assets over to Carlton Reserve and kind of taking the, multi-pronged approach of coming in on both sides. They end up taking everybody out of Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park and moving them 45 minutes away from Ground Zero. That was one of the main reasons it took 5 weeks to find Brian Laundrie.
Totally false, Betty. You're so far off. First of all, I had nothing to do with them moving over to the Carlton Reserve entrance. Oh my God. I was searching on my own. It had nothing to do with that. While I was searching, they had moved the whole camp over to the Carlton Reserve entrance. Had nothing to do with me. The criminal I found in the shack was long after they moved over there. We had searched there for nights, for a week. We did not, I had nothing to do with the police leaving the environmental park going to the Carlton Reserve entrance. I was over there searching. This was, oh my God, I can't believe you're blaming me. They had moved on their own. I had nothing to do with that. It just widened our search. That's how I got out in that area searching. It had nothing to do with the guy we found. It wasn't even near where we found that guy in the shack. That has nothing to do with it. You're way off.
That was the main reason.
No, no, it wasn't.
And again, these were some of the stuff that we saw firsthand. And law enforcement misrepresented some information in this very case.
Listen to this.
About why they chose to do that. They talked about how hard it was to find Brian Laundrie because the water was up here to this high up to their chest. Okay, yeah, maybe over in the Carlton Reserve area in the swamp, but we're in the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, and I've been trampling all over this park for a month, and I didn't swim anywhere. I'm just letting you know. I didn't have to get in a bathing.
More false information. Yeah, Brian was not in the environmental park. His car was. He walked over the bridge to the reserve. Actually, it was the Big Sloth Preserve. So you were looking in the environmental park. When you cross that bridge, you're no longer in the environmental park.
Dude, I didn't have to pull out my swimming skills, nothing. I was able to walk through that entire park.
Yeah, you walked through there after the water went down. The park was completely closed because it was flooded.
Just fine. So I'm very highly disappointed. People want to know why we were out there chanting justice for Gabby. It's because we're tired of the lies. We were tired of the lies.
There weren't lies. The Laundries lied, but not the police.
So we definitely have things going on.
And not Doug Live. The area was flooded right after the fact. It wasn't. You're so far off. When you were there, the waters had gone down. You're right. You're so far off. Okay, Betty, this is actually the bridge that goes from the environmental park over to the reserve and the preserve where Brian was found. Brian's car was actually in the environmental park, but Brian's body was found on the other side of this bridge. And the reason that the vehicles and all the police cars went to the main entrance, it wasn't because of Doug. It was so they could drive their cars down to that location. This is the main entrance to the actual Carlton Reserve. The reason the police moved down to that side is because they needed access with their big vehicles. You cannot take a big vehicle over the little bridge from the Myakka Environmental Park. So they had to move the equipment down to this spot so they could drive down the power lines. This had nothing to do with Doug Live. They did not move to this location because of Doug
shoot,
Live.
I forgot.
So please
We gotta
do not
start
listen to
talking
Bullhorn
louder
Betty.
for the people, 'cause they
This
can't
is
hear
false
us.
information. They moved there for the big equipment, not for Doug.
Oh shit! Why would this?
Oh, can't get in.
Is there a padlock over there?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't cut it with my bolt cutters.
Oh my.
Well, why would they have the main gate open?
And all this.
I mean, it makes about as much sense.
Actual video of the flooding of the reserve. This is actual footage.
After they got the car out here, after that, it all flooded. Oh, it's locked. But it all flooded in there. That's where the car was found. But right up here.
This is way
that
back.
whole area there.
This is an original video
thousands of acres. There's
talking
that bridge
about
you see
how
on TV
it was flooded there
that you cross over to get
just
into there.
over a week ago before this video was
That's
taken.
that reserve. So Betty went on to say that the media in Sarasota, the people in Sarasota that are involved with the media, keep talking about Brian Laundrie in the reserve. Listen, it wasn't in the environmental park where Brian was found. That's where his car was found. Brian was found actually in the Big Sloth Preserve next to the Carlton Reserve. So get your facts straight. And the police did not move because of me out of there. I was the one saying the entire time that Brian is there. I'm saying, Dog the Bounty Hunter kept saying, oh, he's in the Appalachian Mountains. I said, no, he's not. He's around here. Oh, he's in Mexico. But I really think he's in the Appalachian Mountains. I was the only one saying, listen, his car was there. He's around here. He's somewhere around here. He's not going to be in Mexico when his car was left there.
Okay, Bullhorn Betty. This is the Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. This is where Brian's car was found. And this is the Big Sloth Reserve right next to the Carlton Reserve. This is where Brian's body was found. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't miss No Pants Friday. Coming up this Friday. Stay tuned. Be prepared. Thank you all for joining in and watching Doug Live, the special media in Sarasota County. Have a good evening.